All right, cool. So what's up, guys? For anyone who doesn't know me, name's Brandon. I'm a developer here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about prototypes in JavaScript and what we can use them for. Can everybody see that okay? Cool. So a lot of you are probably familiar with this. This is CoffeeScript. This is how we define a class. We have a constructor. We pass in some options for color and weapon, and we have an attack method on it. A couple of things when I first started working with JavaScript or CoffeeScript was the class kind of tripped me up because JavaScript doesn't have classes, and also there was no return. So I was trying to figure out what this actually returned.
Anybody not know CoffeeScript? I know. We have at least a couple. Just real fast.
Cool. So CoffeeScript, it's like I haven't worked with it much either, but it's like I guess a compiler for JavaScript, so you can write it shorthand. So I go away.
They call it a transpiler.
Yeah.
So you write it in one language and it kicks it out in another language. And so it basically gives you a nicer syntax and some features around JavaScript.
Right. So I was going to show you what it will actually output to JavaScript. So this is what that class will output. So you can see we don't have any classes anymore. We got functions. We got bind. I'm going to go through what this does in a minute. But I just want you to see what's going on behind the scenes because I think it's important to understand what CoffeeScript is doing when you create a class. So first of all, we have Ninja, which is assigned to what they call an anonymous function, otherwise known as immediately invoked function expression. And basically what it does is it's a function that is declared and then called immediately. So you don't have to call it. And since it's called immediately, it's going to return the value that we set it to, which in this case is Ninja. Okay, cool. So that attack method that we were talking about before, if we flip back, we got this fat arrow instead of this little skinny arrow up here. And what this does is it's going to bind a reference to that instance that we want at that particular time to this method. With this, we wouldn't be able to access the correct this. Especially useful if we're doing event handlers, where this would be the jQuery object. This would be, in this case, this would be Ninja. So we'll flip back here, and you can see what it's doing behind the scenes. It's using bind. This is the instance of the Ninja that we're creating, and it's going to use that for this method attack. Everybody cool so far? Any questions so far or anything? Cool. All right, so then we have a constructor, which in CoffeeScript just says constructor, but in JavaScript you would have this set to the function that we were returning, which is Ninja. And a constructor, all it is pretty much a function for initializing new objects. And you can see here we initialize a Ninja with a color and a weapon, and by default these will be undefined because we have not created any instances yet. And what a constructor does is it automatically gives us a prototype property, which is what I'm going to get into today. So the prototype right here, every function by default has a prototype property. It's an empty object essentially, and then we can attach methods and behaviors and properties to it in a way to implement inheritance. So as I mentioned, the inheritance, since every JavaScript object has a prototype, we can then inherit from other objects, as I was just talking about. So if we want to check a property, it's going to first check the prototype, which is known through the prototype chain. So there's a couple of things it's going to do. If it has the property, it's just going to return it. So it can find it, and it's just going to return that property. If not, it's going to go check the object's prototype. If not, it's going to go check the parent's prototype. If not, I'm going to go backwards. If not, it's going to keep going up and up and up and up until it can find something. And if it doesn't find anything and it reaches the object.prototype, it's going to return undefined. Cool. So object.prototype. As I mentioned, all objects in JavaScript descend from the object. So all objects essentially have access to this prototype object that we can, as I mentioned, inherit properties and methods from. So I'll give you guys a little example of what is going on here. So we have that Ninja class that we created, and say we want visibility to be true. We want them to be seen, not hidden, I guess. And then in our case, we initialized an instance of Red Ninja, and it will output true. That's what this is doing right here. So further along the prototype chain, where you say, nah, we want that Red Ninja to be hidden, all right? So we can go ahead and change his visibility property to false, and it's gonna be false, but that has not affected the prototype of Ninja. Ninja visibility will still be true. That's an important thing to keep in mind. So because every object has access to the prototype, every object also has access to this, what we call is prototype of method. It essentially returns the prototype of an object. It's useful in using, if we want to guarantee that certain methods and properties that we've used on other prototypes are present further down the prototype chain. So here we're going to create a constructor for Ninja Turtle. We're going to set Ninja Turtle's prototype to the Ninja class that we already had established. And then we're going to create a new Ninja Turtle called Raphael. We're going to initialize this Ninja Turtle class right here. So somewhere down the line, we want to know if Raphael, I don't know, has size? And that's on the Ninja prototype. So we want to we can go in here and check if the Ninja prototype that we created this from exists within the prototype chain of Ninja Turtle. In this case, it's true, but if it was false, and we were trying to call that method, we would get an error. Cool, so let's go ahead and create a Ninja Turtle, because I like to see things in code. So I've already pasted in the Ninja code that was there before, so just so you guys are aware. Can everybody see that? Cool, so we take that constructor, Ninja Turtle, we gave it a method, eats pizza, and it returns true. And then, like I mentioned before, we're gonna set the prototype to that new Ninja class. Cool, so right here we get a Ninja. He can attack, he has a color, he has a weapon, but he doesn't really have too much else going on. So let's go back here. So we have our Ninja, but like I said, he can't really do anything, so let's create him. Okay, cool. So here we're going to declare a new instance of Leonardo, make it a new Ninja Turtle, and then because the color and the weapon are undefined on the prototype, we have to actually define them. So he's there. I don't know why it does that, by the way, and then you have Leonardo. Leonardo is a Ninja Turtle. His color is blue. He has a weapon and sword. And he's getting this eats pizza from the Ninja Turtle class. If I'm losing anyone, stop me. And then you can see his prototype right here, this proto. This is essentially a prototype, but I mean, I think it's ES6 uses proto. Don't worry about that right now. But this attack is coming from the Ninja class. So you can see this Ninja Turtle that we created inherited the attack and the color and the weapon, which are undefined. So we can come in here, we can add new methods to Ninja Turtle, or we can add them to Ninja, and then the Ninja Turtle will inherit them. So let's take a look real quick at what's going on, because you guys see me use this new word. Anybody know what that's doing or familiar with it? Okay, so let's go in and see what this is actually doing. So 4 things happen when new is called. We're essentially creating a new instance of the object. So we're going to create a new object, which a function is just an object, so we're just going to create an empty function. And then we're going to set the constructor property, which in this case of the object is Ninja. So Leonardo's constructor is now equal to Ninja, and we can tell that because we can do this instance of check, and that would be true. So like I was mentioning before with the inheritance, Leonardo now inherits everything from the constructor prototype Ninja. So it's pretty powerful. So you can have a lot of stuff on Ninja that you need further down the line, and then define another class and add a few methods there. It can get pretty powerful. So now we have, like I said, we have Ninja Turtle, he eats pizza, color, weapon. We can add all kinds of properties to this. We can add more methods to the Ninja prototype, and so on and so on. And then, we call Ninja and we pass the reference, the instance of this. So basically, I just want to give an overview of prototype and what CoffeeScript does. So like I said, when we're using it, I know when I first started out, I didn't even really understand JavaScript at all, and I just used jQuery like crazy. I didn't really know what was going on behind the scenes. And then when I learned, I got smarter about what I was actually doing with it for performance reasons or anything like that. So I just think it's important to know what is actually going on behind the scenes. And if anyone's interested, this book took, the whole Ninja theme kind of worked. I learned a lot from this book, and I feel like it took my JavaScript knowledge to like another level. If anyone's interested in reading this, I could post a link. Thanks, guys.